Hi everybody, welcome to Family Sociology. Now I'm going to go over the syllabus for you, and it's a really important document because this document has all the information in the whole document of what you need to be aware of for the entire semester. So I want to go through this with you, but I want to touch on one thing on this very first page. It doesn't say asynchronous, but I should point this out to you that asynchronous online course just means you can take the course anytime you want because there's no specific class time for us. You won't find it on your roster or anything. It'll just be a course you can take at any time of the day or any day of the week. All right? So let's go through this document one page at a time. We're going to start on this page coming up here. There we go. Now this page here just really goes through a few key points that are really important. And the first top thing says print and download, or download and print your syllabus, and read it carefully. Please read all the documents carefully to make sure that you understand what the expectations are. And on most of the documents will be, in fact on all the documents, there will be due dates. Now this document has them all in one place. So it's important that you keep a track of everything in either your student planner, in a calendar, on your electronic devices. Now I do have a video on how to use your electronic device, your phone, your iPad, your tablet, and use the calendar to set up alerts. So I would really recommend you view those. Now it'll be easier for you to navigate Blackboard if you first do the first thing that the announcement in the shell indicated, is watch the orientation video. Because in there I show you how to navigate through Blackboard and how I've set it up, and that's going to be very helpful. But I also show you these resources. Now one of the things I wanted to touch on is that this is a 3-hour class. This is kind of like being in class, except we are doing this asynchronously. So I would really recommend that you block off 3 hours of your week to dedicate to this class, the same as you do with your other classes. That way you won't get held back and find yourself forgetting a week or forgetting 2 weeks. And that's happened with students, and then they get so far behind that it's very difficult to get caught up. So please, every week do something on this course, the same as you're doing with the rest of them. And so that's why I used the guideline of 3 hours. Now I have mentioned that time management is a big issue. And so there are other things that you may find of issue when it comes to this class, and for that matter, any class. So in Blackboard, there is an area, and again, the orientation video walks you through everything that we do in Blackboard. But in Blackboard, there is a weekly learnings based on our syllabus. And in there is a folder that's called Support Video Resources. And in that folder are some videos that will help you with things like time management. There's one that's called, let me think of what it's called, Online Success Tips. And in there I've talked about time management, internet connectivity if you're having difficulties. Also, there's another video on how to make use of your calendar on your devices. And there's another video on how to make a PDF document from either Word or Pages. Anything that you post in this class as an assignment or as a journal or as anything gets posted only as a PDF. And so that video will help you understand how to make a PDF if you don't already know. Now you'll also see there are no extensions. That just means that if there's a date for opening and closing, that's when it's available. The only extensions that can occur are when somebody has gone to Student Services with documentation and handed it to Howard Devosky. He's our disability specialist. He will then send out accommodation letters to the faculty or make them available for faculty, and any accommodations that are on those letters I will certainly adhere to. If you happen to have an issue partway through the semester that's not a permanent disability or one that you had contacted Howard for, a doctor's note will be acceptable, but I must see that doctor's note before the due date, not after. Okay? Now the contact information, my email is listed there, and I will email every single day except Wednesday. Wednesday is a day that I make more videos. So all emails, when you email me all through the semester, need to be the same way. Must have a subject filled in. No subject, no response from me. It must have which class you're in. Now, this is family sociology, but I teach 3 other different courses. So if you're asking me a question about the assignment, I'll find it hard to know how to answer if I don't know which class you're in. And I need your full name. I have about 200 students, so it'll be hard to understand and remember everybody in which class they're in. Now, I do meet virtually in a WebEx room I have, which if you email me first, we'll settle on a date we can meet, and I'll make the room available 5 minutes before the date and time, just in case you're there early. And yes, the textbook is required. Now, I say it's required, not because I just want you to have it, but because this is an online class, I make videos for every chapter we're going to cover. However, it's not as comprehensive as the complete textbook, and I'm not going to make a video for 3 hours as if we were in a classroom. So it's important that you have the textbook to watch the videos with and to make notes and highlight in your textbook and become familiar with the content. Because when it comes time for the test, you can use the textbook and your notes. But if you haven't got a textbook or you haven't made notes, you're going to struggle with success in this course. Now, the last little thing on this page is around college policies. It's incumbent upon you to know what those college policies are, because if you make a request from me for something, I will use the college policies to help with my decision making, like extensions. There are college policies on under what circumstance are extensions provided, and how is it that what am I supposed to do and what are you as a student supposed to do within the college policies. Okay, so let's move on to page 3. Now on page 3, it's another bit of information here that's helpful. I mentioned about Howard Davosky. He's in the student services, and he's the guy you will look for if you're looking for a testing accommodation or accommodations in your classroom. Now there's also counseling. Carrie provides counseling that's both personal, academic, and career. And there's a testing specialist, an adaptive technologist, and an indigenous service provider. So please take advantage of the services that are available. If you're not from Owen Sound campus and from a different campus, those same services are provided in all campuses with Georgian College. It may not be with this particular group, but all campuses have them. The next is student evaluations, which is just looking at what we'll be doing in the course of a semester and what it's going to be worth, so how your marks are going to be generated. And then following that is just a breakdown of each one to give you an idea of what's expectations. But here's where I wanted to spend some time. It's looking at your syllabus. Now you notice in the light blue on the left side, week 1, week 2, and so on. Everything in Blackboard is set up the same way. So in our weekly learnings, based on the syllabus, that's why I've put it that way, is week 1 is going to have that content in it, week 2 will have that content in it, week 3, week 4, etc. The next is the topic. So at the very top of week 1, I've indicated how to get a start, good start off to the semester. Well, watch the orientation video will be first. And it is important to do that. And do the orientation quiz. Now it will be posted in week 1, but it will be closed by January 28th at 5 p.m. So you've got 3 weeks to do as many attempts on the quiz as you would like and get as high a grade. It's a 10-question quiz, and the content of the quiz comes from the orientation video and this syllabus. Now, if we look at the third column, it looks at your textbook readings. So this is what chapter we'll be looking at and what you should be looking at in advance of the material. The fourth column is the online content. So everything that's in that column is what will be found online. So your journals, your quizzes, your content for your assignment are all online. And then the fifth column is just your weight. So every journal is worth 5%. Your test, in this case, for test 1 is 12%, and that's where your weight comes from on the assignments and on the test and on the journals. If I go down to the next one, we'll also see again journals, You'll see dates for when things will be provided for your assignment and when the assignment is due. So that's something that you should be putting into your calendar and setting up alerts so they go off and allow you to complete everything that's going on. Now, one thing I want to point out in week 14 is that week 14, normally the tests are open from Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on the Friday. But in this last week, I've had requests from students before that if I could open the test a bit early. And what I do is I open it on the Sunday at 8 a.m. so you can start writing if you wanted and get that one out of the way, and then have the rest of the week to focus on your core courses. Now, as much as I'm aware that's Easter Sunday, and no, you're not obligated to write on a religious date. If it's not your religious observance, then you certainly can. Or if it is and you feel you want to because it's best for your academic success, then feel free. But you're not obligated to start writing on the 17th. You can write on the 18th or the 19th, right through to the 22nd. All right, the last two pieces are some things that you should be looking at, academic honesty and plagiarism, and what are the expectations for students in this course. And that's just a limited amount. I've already gone through a lot of that within the syllabus. So please take the time to do the orientation video and the quiz, okay? All right, everybody, good luck, and I will see you in another video. Bye now.